Hey everyone, it's Paolo. Okay, stop what you're doing because today we have an amazing episode because I am going to be talking with the iconic actress, model, and author, the one and only Brooke Shields. You guys, she has a new movie out called Mother of the Bride, and it is so funny and it is full of love. So for the very first time, I'll see you guys with Brooke.
Spoonful of Paolo, here we go.
Tell me when you're good, Patrick. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Oh my God, Brooke Shields, it is such an honor to have you here. Like,
Thank you.
We've been waiting for this moment. Like, it's been a dream, and I thought I'd reach out to your team when I knew that we were ready. When we build up our show, and it's been 13 years, and you're here, and we are so honored.
It took you 13 years?
It took me 13 years, but look, it's not. We were so ready and prepared, and I am so grateful. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for even wanting me here.
Oh my God, who wouldn't want you? Please.
My children.
Oh, no, we're gonna change that. They're gonna want. We're
All
gonna
right.
change that. Because last week, last time I saw you was really on the screen. I watched your interview with Oprah on Oprah Daily, which was so beautiful. The conversation that you two had, and then right after that, I watched your movie that's coming out May 9th on Netflix, Mother of the Bride. I have to tell you, this film is so fun. It's light, it's full of love. You play Lana, who is the mother of the bride.
Yes.
What was that like for you? Because this was pure joy, pure joy.
The movie itself was pure joy too, and it's so rare that you get those experiences.
Yeah.
But because we were so far away from our homes, we were in Phuket, for that long a period of time, and so we were just a cast that we lived together. We were like one room after the other, and so it was like a dorm, and it was really. It reminded me of sort of old filming, like filming back in the day in the 80s, when you did go on location with people and they became your main focal point. And it was, my older daughter came to visit me, but it was just to be surrounded by that comedic talent.
Yeah.
And the also working with younger actors, like working with Miranda, who comes from a very different sensibility and is so lovely.
Who plays your daughter, Emma?
She plays my daughter,
your daughter, yes.
Miranda Cosgrove.
Yes.
And she is so professional and lovely and sweet and kind. And, I had this sort of feeling of, I felt maternal with her. And it was, I haven't played a mom too many times. I can't even really count them, but this was a real moment for me to sort of be in that role, which was just touching, I'd have to say. And also the fact that they let us be that comedic, which was juxtaposed with all the emotion and all the feels, as they call them.
Yeah.
A lot of the time they don't let you to go that far in each end, and they let us really push the comedy.
And you did push the comedy. You were so funny because, there's something that lights up in you when you are being funny. I don't know, we felt it through the TV. We saw that in Friends. We saw that in Suddenly Susan for 4 years when you had your own show. What is it you think? Because, we were laughing at what you do, your lines, you falling and all that stuff that we see. Something lights up in you. Do you feel that? Do you know that's something special in you?
Oh, this is like magic to my soul. When I am doing comedy, it is as if I can feel the blood going through my veins. I can't even explain it. It is, and I'm sure my kids would be rolling their eyes right now, but there's a something that happens within the comedic zone that is so, you have to be so liberated, but it's also a choreography. So there have been times I've waited too long and I've blown a punchline, and there have been times I've said it too soon and I've blown a punchline. But there's something, it's like beautiful choreography. And I probably would roll my eyes at myself if I just saw this, but I was not often allowed to be funny because my earlier part of my career was all sort of smoldering or whatever it was, or serious, and I was lucky enough to be able to be on Bob Hope shows. And that's sort of vaudeville comedy, but it's sketch comedy. It's sort of the root of sketch. and I just felt alive. And so when they let me do it, it's fun, and it doesn't always have to be falling or physical, but the physicality of it.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel alive. So
oh my God, there's this one line when you guys watch it, you'll see. But there's this one line, Patrick. You wanna grab this? It was so funny when you'll get it when you guys watch it. But you say this line, okay? I don't know if you're gonna know what I'm gonna say to you when you say a little bit of advice. Relax, have a Mai Tai.
It's sort of a culmination. It's it's from this pent up. So I will say that this. Thank you.
Don't drink it.
So Lana's character is just she's a single mom. Her husband died, and she wants to be a part of her daughter's journey through marriage, getting to the wedding, and it's all taken away from her. And you see her sort of slowly unraveling, and then you also have this. They weren't just dating in college. They were everything to each other.
It was more than exactly.
It was the love of her life.
And you could see it in her why she's going through these emotions when she sees him for the first time. Yeah.
Because it's, she's gone off to be the doctor she is, and now with the loss of her husband, and he just ghosted her.
Gosh.
And her whole world sort of fell apart, and she never knew why. And then she it was just, I think her whole world was sort of shaped by that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, here he is. And then it's Benjamin
and he's
Bratt.
there. Benjamin there. He's right about that.
Which just definitely throws it over the edge.
You have been in the spotlight your entire life. Obviously, it started when you were 11 months, when you were in this over here doing the Ivory Soap.
Soap.
Francesco Scavullo's office called your mom. He had, I think, like 17 screaming babies. Then your mom, who said when she brought you home from the hospital that you were going to be a star. She just knew. You went there, and the rest is history.
I mean, that's the story. But yeah.
It's a beautiful story, and it's true because look where you are today. Did you always feel like it was your destiny to be in show business? Did you feel that inside of you since you were young?
I mean, I've been working since that age.
Yeah, this
so
is amazing.
I don't think you even have the time or the space to even know what you want to be when you grow up. I was already doing it. I think that had I hated it, I think I would have been able to say, I hate this, or I would have probably self-destructed and done something. But there was something so lucky for me to be able to have been put into an industry that I actually ended up really loving.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she could have planned that, really. I think every mom that has a baby, their baby is a star, and it's the most perfect baby in the world, and they all are. And my mom sort of ascribed a lot to me. But then as I got a little bit older, I realized that there was a huge part of my own personality that I only got to act out in work mode. And it's hard to explain, but there was such freedom for me in being able to just be in those environments that are actually safe because you are working and you have everything, you're accounted for, you're safe, they protect you. Granted, it's for their benefit, but there was something very freeing about being on a movie set.
Wow. I'm so glad you didn't give up on that girl in you, because you in your journey you've been through so many difficult challenges and stuff, but it's like you never gave up on that little girl in you, with everything you've been through, and that's got to be a little pat on yourself saying I did it, because it's a tough business, and for you it was extra tough, but you just didn't give up on her, something in you kept going and going and going. It's pretty amazing.
Well, I thank you. I think it's taken a lot of therapy and a lot of, and which I didn't have at 12 or that, but in looking back now, I do see, because I used to attribute what you just said to everything else. I had a great dad, and I felt loved by my mother, and I stayed in New York. I would always say all these things were why I didn't go completely off the rails. And then my therapist said to me one day, she said, when are you going to attribute any of this to your innate character? And I was like, oh, no, you don't do that. That's just arrogant. And she said, but you responded. You decided how to respond to your environment. And that was like, oh, because it's hard to accept that kind of love for yourself from yourself, you know, and it's very emotional. But now that my girls are growing up and they're revealing their own selves to the world, and I see it, I'm able to actually give myself a little more credit because I'm watching them be their own selves, you know, and so I'm not taking credit for any of that. I just hopefully got out of their way and gave them enough of a buffer for them to be who they are. And I didn't really have that as a kid. But somewhere along the line, I must have eked it out, you know.
You made it work. Yeah, you didn't have it when you were a kid, but you made it somehow work with your two beautiful daughters. And oh God, that's so powerful. Because it could have been the opposite with your girls. It could have been a mess or this, but like they truly love you and you love them and you gave them that space, and now like you are like Mother of the Year.
Well,
where's that award for Mother of the Year? Okay,
Mother of the Bride, maybe. I don't know about of the year, but well, you know, and it's hard to grow up. It's hard.
I know.
It's hard to grow up, like, and we don't want to.
And it's harder when you're in the public eye. Like that's what makes it harder for you. Like even when I was calling my aunt this morning, and she lives in Milan, she knows I was going to interview, and she goes, "Oh my God, Blue Lagoon, oh, che era bella, come era bella."
Isn't it Laguna Blue?
Yeah, Laguna. Okay. Yeah. But she said it like that. She said it like that. I'm like, okay, Tia. But it's like everybody knows you from a different movie, or now they're going to have a new generation watching you in this movie, which is amazing. You know, when you hear, because you said for one of your movie, Pretty Baby, you said about that, you said, I've only watched Pretty Baby and I've watched it multiple times. And it's why I wrote the thesis on it, because I just think it's probably or possibly the only real, true, beautiful film I've ever been in. It's the only piece of art I think that I've gotten to experience in my film career. So for you, why was that one so special for you? Because I know this is like, it's your baby.
It is, and it's not to discredit, like I'm the happiest doing this type of movie. A rom-com to me, and being able to do it at this age is heaven.
Yes.
And if I could spend the rest of my days doing them, I'd like to be a romantic interest at 80. But yeah, I was in Cocoon or something. Yeah. I had to have been living there. But to really look back at the filmography of it, and to take all the pieces that were a part of that movie from an artistic standpoint, they were really quite sublime. And I, again, not to discredit any of the other work that I was allowed to be in, but to look at that movie, it's a piece of art.
It is a
piece of
art.
And I'm so proud of it, and I'm proud of every element, and I feel lucky to have been chosen for it. I mean, it dictated a huge amount of the rest of my life. Yeah. But when you're able to look back at it, not from a perspective from news or the public, but from just really a cinematic review of a piece of art, to be a part of it was like, I will never be sorry for that.
And you shouldn't be. You were 11 years old when you were cast in that film, and I think that is what makes you so brave, is that you still hold on to that, and you should, because we watched it a couple days ago, and I kept saying, yeah, this is like an art. This young girl who still is so brilliant. Your acting in it I think it's one of your best acting. You're just so...
one of the best directors I've ever had.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. It was well done.
But you know what's hard with Hollywood and the way careers go, is, that was beautiful art.
Yeah.
It's hard to get that again, if not planned, or if not, and my career did actually not follow in the way you would think that someone whose first movie was that.
Yeah.
And so,
you're so right.
You kind of have to really be willing to look at what that means to you. How do you not become bitter about it? How do you not say, I could have been to this, or I should have been to that, or this should have happened? Like all those regrets that happen, they happen. I've felt all of them. And then to sort of go from that to become a person who's they're making, dolls of and hair dryers of, and it's like so polarizing, right? And they don't match up. And how do you reconcile that? And it takes a long time, and it takes sort of just saying, okay, this is just it. This is the way it went. Who knows what would have happened if I went that route, which I wanted and coveted and looked at and aspired to, and then it doesn't happen, and you have to really be careful not to get hardened and bitter by it, So one of the ways that it helped me was to intellectualize it. So I was able to write a piece, my main thesis to graduate. So to me that then satiated me, so to speak,
I know going to Princeton really changed your life because you had that time for yourself to go there. That is it's so amazing. When I was doing research, I had notes and notes and notes, but like my longest section was on your relationship with your mom, obviously. And, yes, your mother was an alcoholic. Yes, your mother was a complicated woman, but what you guys had was so special and so strong. And I know that you've said that it was us against the world, and I looked to my mother as if she were God. It's so beautiful. What do you miss the most about your mom today, would you say?
Well, I really miss that she's not making my children laugh the way she used to make me laugh. I just miss the I'm stuttering all of a sudden. What do I miss about her? I just miss the unconditional way that she approached loving me. That sounds really twisted, but
totally get it.
She would have died for me. And, that's not necessarily healthy. But there is something, I just wrote about this actually, when there's this moment in the documentary where I'm diving and she's teaching me how to dive. And the minute I come out of the water, I say, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And like that, and then she tells me she was a source, whether it was correct or not, she was someone to look at, and whatever she said, you could feel good about doing. Now, she also couldn't swim. So when you look at that, you're like, oh, that's kind of messed up, because she actually couldn't even save you if you were drowning. But what I think I miss is the fantasy of that unequivocal knowledge, whether it was real or not. And 90% of the time, she didn't know what she was talking about. But as a little girl going, so what do I do? What do I do? And then they say, well, you move this to there. And you go, okay. And you move that to there. And there's something that happens in your world and you feel safe and right. And I think that, when you're an adult, you don't have that because it doesn't really exist.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's the piece that I miss as a little girl.
Yeah, I feel like she definitely protected you. I remember that story when they got a divorce, your parents, she went to your dad and said that I want no alimony. The only thing I want is for you to give, our daughter an education.
Yeah.
So when you were saying that, I'm like, oh, I get it. I get your mom. I get what she was doing.
You would love my mom. You would have loved my mom. She would have loved
by
you.
watching so many interviews, like even
both
back
of
in
you.
No, thank you. Just watching so many interviews back in the days, I could see that protection. She only knew what she knew from how she was raised, but she did in her way.
She wasn't even raised.
Yeah. See, that's But this, and then there's a story. I think I remember when you went to Southampton. You were with your friend. You were eating, and then you went to give your plate, and then your friend's mom called your mom to say to her that you could tell her that we have people who do that. Do you remember your mom's response? What she told her on the phone?
Oh yeah. She said, oh, well, thank you. She said, we don't have people, but you don't have to worry about that with my daughter because she'll never be coming over to your house again.
Oh my God.
And the one's like, oh,
that's like a real housewife.
But, that was my mom, and she was always straddling this weird fence, you know, and I think that, she was a fighter, and she was fabulous. She was also like scarred, and she wasn't even raised, and she wasn't, and I think by saying, like, she had the wherewithal from no education. 0. She was street smart from Newark. But that does not mean class or sophistication, and class, whatever that might mean. But sophistication, no education, no upbringing, none of that, poverty, and knew what she wanted to craft herself as, and did it, and it wasn't falsified, and it wasn't, and she was smart enough to be able to navigate. And, that's a character in a film, and so for her to say that to my dad, she meant it.
I could.
And she was
100%.
like, I don't need you, I don't need
Yeah.
anything, I was born with
Don't
nothing,
give
I'm
me-
gonna leave with nothing, I don't want your money. But this kid, give this kid what I didn't get. And, I got a great education.
You did. I know you did. You were going to go home when you were getting homesick, but then your mom told you to stay there at Princeton and not to come home. I mean, she could easily have told you to come home. Because
she wanted me home, and I wanted to go home.
Yeah, and you wanted to go home, but then you did. Oh, God.
And honestly, that was such a, my mom was a narcissist in the sort of clinical way, and her undoing was loving me so much. Much of my struggle was loving an alcoholic, not her. There's no problem loving her, but loving an alcoholic, that's where it gets tricky. Her loving me obliterated her.
Yep.
So for her to be able to not weaken and say, don't come home, was, in a way, I think I've said this, the beginning of the end for her, and the beginning of the beginning for me.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you know how wise you are?
Oh, God.
Do you know how smart? I mean, even
I've
watching
done
you
a lot
talk
of
about
work on myself.
No, well, you're doing. I'm giving you an A+. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
I'm your instructor. Okay, you're getting
I
an A+.
love homework.
I know that when you were young, you didn't look in yourself in the mirror because you would say that I couldn't see what other people saw in you. I'm just wondering, when you look in the mirror today, when you go home and you take everything off and you're looking in the mirror, what do you see?
Oh, that's
Come on.
Hold on. Are you sure I can't drink this?
It's orange juice if you want it. Something if you want it. No, but I want you to take a second. Because you've grown into this beautiful. You've always been beautiful. Something inside of you, the way your mother and the person you are, with everything you've been through. You're so wise. You're so beautiful. You're in this business. You're killing it. So when you can just look in the mirror and you look at yourself, what do you see today with after doing all that work that you did?
I think I want to take the mirror out of it.
Okay.
Only because that has a different connotation. When I sit with myself, it gets you when I actually sit with myself, or I see my kids react to me or say something or do something in the world, and then when I watch other people be moved by something that I say in the right context, obviously, I kind of feel like at the first time in my life I get to just wrap my arms around myself and say, you're doing okay, you're doing a good job, you've done a lot, and it's okay, and it's okay to be proud of yourself. I think when you're a child performer, or I've been doing something for so long that is sort of predicated on the way you look, or how well you're liked, or how well you're perceived, or nowadays it's how many numbers of whatever you have, right? There's this, it's all about the external approval, right? So it's very hard to find internal approval because you just don't, you're not asked of, it's not asked of you, right? So I kind of feel like a little girl every now and then, and I'll wait till nobody's watching, and then I go, I did it, I'm good. And that's just, again, that's the way I was raised, and my mother and my father and all of that. And then you get to this age and you realize if you don't give yourself this credit, it's possible you'll die never getting it. And it's not that just mortality when you're in your late 50s, which I'm 58, but you start thinking okay, look around you. You've got good people in your life. You have children who actually seemingly like you, even though they tell you they hate you. There is a future. there you get to this age and you feel like, oh, there's really not a dead end here. So, and why not give? Like, I used to feel arrogant to do it, but now I hug myself more, and I kind of giddily think like, I'm cool, like I'm good, you know. The mirror is a hard thing, because if you are someone who has been labeled a certain way, beautiful, pretty, whatever, and I write about this in my upcoming book, but there is something that happens with people who are in the public eye designated as beautiful. They're really not allowed to get older, because with age, that means you're no longer Laguna Blue. And if I'm no longer that, then am I a disappointment, right? And that's what the society says. Oh, well, you've got wrinkles, so you're not this anymore. Or, oh, you're this age, so you're not worth anything. And so what we do beauty-wise is really hard to ourselves. And I hope I can teach my children. But you have to take that piece away and say, you know, have I lived my life in a way that I would do again? And I would do it all again, exactly. You know, so.
Throw the mirror away, because you're so right about that.
It's hard, because the mirror is hard.
I get it. It makes sense. Even when you're sitting there with your loved ones and thinking about everything, your life, and giving yourself a big hug, I mean, that's just like...
And it sounds woo-woo and all weird,
but it's real, and it's deep, and it's personal.
And also, the thing about a mirror is that it is a mirror image, right? So I discovered this when I was sculpted by Robert Graham. It's true.
Yes,
I sat for Robert Graham, which is a huge, huge, bless him, honor.
Yeah.
And he is an artist, right? So he sees the image as it is. He doesn't see a mirror image. That was one of the many, many beauties of his talent. And you know, if you've only looked at yourself in the mirror, it's hard to really know your reverse, right? You don't know what your face really looks like. So the way I see you, you cannot possibly see yourself. Now they have apps where you can flip it, and you know, that's interesting, but. It reminds me of that Dove campaign where the women were paired and they each had to describe themselves and describe their partner to an artist who couldn't see them. And inevitably, the way we describe ourselves is hideous. The way we describe other people is with this reverence, right? And so it's really hard to be able to find ways to look at yourself the way other people see you.
I just want to give myself a hug. I don't
good,
know why.
Good.
I just like.
No, I'm gonna people are gonna be like, oh, she's full of shit.
No, you're not. No, you're not. This is how we're gonna end it. We're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna. We're gonna play a little fun. We're calling it "It's Raining Legend."
Oh.
Okay, here we go.
No longer
These
men?
are photos.
Okay.
Look.
Just legends.
Yes. These are photos of you with all.
Who glue gunned what? I want
Patrick
to know who
did
it.
Did you do
everything.
it? Woo! I just approved it, and he did it all.
Wait, I might need my glasses.
Here, I'll get them right now. I'll get them right now. Hold on. Yes.
Oh God,
Please.
I love it. It's
so
raining
this is what we're gonna
legends.
do.
So cute.
Yes, there you are with the umbrella. You're in the front.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's raining legends, and then here you are with every legend that we can think of. I mean, there's way more, but we picked our 10 top pictures. Okay.
Okay.
You're gonna spin it. And wherever it lands on, you're gonna tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Whatever the first thing it is. It can be one word, one sentence, a pair, whatever you want, okay? So spin it and let's see who gets it first. It's raining legends with Brooke Shields.
Hallelujah.
Lucy.
Lipstick! That was the first time I met her. She passed by me, and I wanted to say hi to her, but I had to enter on the stage as she was passing by me, and I was like, okay, I'm going to say to her, hi, I really loved you all my life. You are my absolute idol. I've never in my life loved anybody more, and you're beautiful. And I tried to figure out how to get it all in not even 3 seconds. And as she walked by me, it all went slow motion, and all I saw were lips. And she went, lipstick. Oh my God, and she wanted lipstick. She wanted a reapplication of lipstick from someone in the wings. And she was exiting and I was entering as the Kennedy Center honors. And I was like,
Someone bring her the lipstick.
Give her lipstick. She needs lipstick.
I love that so much.
So, and I was just, and then later I got to work with her, luckily, and I did not tell her that story, but.
Oh, well, her soul knows. Okay, spin it again. Let's see. Oh my God, that's such a good story. Mr. Bob Hope.
Mint chocolate chip ice cream. It was his favorite ice cream. And I would find ways no matter what city, even if we were in even when we were in Beirut, I found a way of getting, I didn't get total mint chip, but I got something that put in the ice cream.
Oh my God, so every time you see it, wherever you go and you see it, you think of him right
Bob
away.
Hope, immediately.
I'm probably going to do the exact same thing.
Good,
so
this
it's
is good. Okay.
Okay, go, spin it again. Let's see.
Miss Piggy. I was so honored to work with her. I was so worried she wasn't going to like me.
Really?
Yes.
Miss Piggy likes everyone. Well, not everyone.
Not me. Everyone. She tried stepping on me.
What?
Because I was Alice in Wonderland, and I shrunk down, and then she kept sneezing, and then stepping on me. So that's what I remember about Miss Piggy.
I need to have a talk with Miss Piggy. Okay, we'll do two more. Okay.
Okay. Elizabeth Taylor.
Yes.
That was at the premiere of Endless Love, and now whenever I see her, I just think of her Valentino purse. She couldn't get it open, and she asked me to open it for her.
Oh my God!
And I was like, Elizabeth Taylor likes me. She asked me to open her bag, so I felt purposeful.
What was inside her bag? Do you remember? You just opened it?
I think it was just like a gloss.
Oh my God, what an honor that is. And you got to open Elizabeth Taylor's bag.
And then when I did it, she said, "You're the only one who knows how to do anything around here." And I was like, I don't want to unpack that, but whatever, okay.
She's right.
Yep,
She's right.
You got that right.
Oh my God, I love this so much. Miss Oprah Winfrey.
Oprah. Oh gosh, history. History. I've known her for so long.
I know you have.
In her early days, when she had a tape recorder and was in the stock room of a whatever, and I just that was it. I just think history, because I feel like I've watched her just keep going and making the world a different place.
I mean, if you haven't already, go on Oprah Daily, watch that conversation you had with Oprah, because you can feel all that history, that conversation. It was so real, and a lot of moms that you helped out over there and the daughters. It was beautiful.
One more?
Do one more, because this is just too good. I just can't.
I mean, I can sit over with some tequila with you. Okay, wait, sorry.
Do it again. It's okay.
Oprah, she's got it weighted.
Yeah, she's
got.
Let's go to this next
one.
one.
Okay.
I want this one.
Oh, Michael.
Yeah.
Michael. That was the first time we really sort of stepped out together. It was at the Grammys, I think, or American Music Awards.
American Music Awards.
American Music Awards.
Yes.
Yeah, American Music Awards. And he called me and he was like, "Will you be my date?" I said, "Okay, yes. What do you need from me?" That was always the way our exchange was. He would ask me to do something, and I'd be like, "Okay, what is the event? What do you need? What's happening in the world right now? What do you like in your world right now? How can I best support you?"
Yeah.
And it was so nice for me to be able to be in use for a person like that, whose stardom was so much bigger than even my own at that time. And it's not about feeling smaller, but it made me feel good that there was a bigger purpose that I could have.
I mean, the words you said at his service, I know his mom asked you to speak at his service, which was so touching and beautiful.
I did not know that was going to happen.
That was actually pretty.
I think I made some enemies by getting
powerful.
that invite.
It was beautiful.
But
okay,
I'm just going to put it on
please.
that one.
George Bird, yeah.
Just literally the sweetest man I have ever met in my life.
Oh, I love hearing that.
Funny, sweet, took me in on the joke, allowed me to be in on the joke. That as a 12-year-old, I think I was 12 or maybe 13, I think I had my 13th birthday. And he never lit up his cigar around me, not once.
Wow.
Because he knew I didn't like smoking.
Wow.
And he just was everything you would want in a beautiful grandpa.
Oh, I love it. Even back then, for him to do that and not smoke in frfront of you, if you didn't like it, I love that.
Yeah, I was 12. He could have been like, "Get over it, kid,"
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, no,
You're gonna take this home and play with your daughters
Oh
today.
my God.
And then I want your daughters
Your
to spin
mother
it.
is cool.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do now. Okay, so we're gonna present something to you that I gave to Whoopi Goldberg, Carol Burnett, Julie Andrews, Gloria Estefan,
Oh my
and
God.
you really
I'm in good company.
You really are a legend, and I am so honored. I can't even say this. We throw the word legend around like it's nothing, but you are a legend. So we're gonna give you this. It is the Spoonful of Apollo Legend Award that was made especially just for you. It is the Unbreakable. It is Unbreakable Legend Award.
Oh my God.
Yes, there you are. Each letter has one of your, from the movie Now, from Calvin Klein, that Patrick took. This is from Friends, Suddenly Susan.
Not all the highlights.
Yes. And then there's a quote on there. I don't know if since you have your glasses. I
got my glasses.
Yeah, I want you to
got
read
my
it.
glasses.
I
Okay.
want you to read it.
Okay. I've watched you live a very public life in the unforgiving glare that we all experience when you're living publicly. But you've done it with such grace, such dignity, such fortitude. So I applaud you for that, Brooke Shields. Oprah Winfrey. Wow. Oh my goodness. A spoonful of Apollo Unbreakable Legend Award. Thank you.
Because you're unbreakable.
Oh gosh,
You
my God! This is so beautiful. Thank you. I want to help other people be unbreakable. Can't let them win. Don't let anybody win. You don't have to give it away. Thank you. Okay, this is going to sound gross probably, but people are often always asking to give me awards, and it's they need you to show up and you get designated. It's very lovely. It's an honor, right? But this means more to me than any of them. So I put this with my People's Choice Awards.
Wow.
Because that's coming from why we do what we do to provide any type of respite, entertainment, anything for other people. If there's a reason for doing what we do, it's like People's Choice Awards. I put this with my People's Choice Awards.
We're so honored. We're so honored. Our show's about dreaming big, and we like to honor those who have inspired me, who I know have inspired people out there. Your story is it's really unbreakable. I think about your journey in life and watching your documentary, Too Pretty Baby. When I see all the footage and the story and all that, and that kind of in that order, I'm like, we have to do something special for you, and and this
but
is
you
what
hit all of it. You've got Calvin, Suddenly
Yes, you can
Susan,
see,
Pretty
yeah.
Baby.
Yes.
Oh, Mother of the Bride,
Yes.
Grease, and Friends.
Yes, Rizzo, hello.
These are the highlights. This is Susan. Oh my God, Rizzo, Friends.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I love
you deserve
this. I love these. I got one of these in Disneyland of my daughter.
Really?
When they, they do the little they're little blocks of them. This is incredible, actually.
Well, my husband spent weeks trying to. He did it all, and he's very specific.
But you picked not just the public highlights, the go-tos,
Yes.
but I love that Blue Lagoon is not in here. I gotta say, it's
a choice.
And it's a
My
choice,
aunt,
and nothing
my Tia would be mad.
Tia would be mad, but that's
be
okay. It's nothing against the movie. It's that to
Yeah.
acknowledge that there is other of me and in me is a
Yes.
very to an actress. I thank you.
Well, let this
And
remind you every
that's-
time you look at it to remind you how special you are and that you are unbreakable. You are just, I can't even tell you you're just beyond an inspiration. When your PR, when Jill said yes, I think, I didn't tell her this, but I screamed, I cried, because it's when you get those dream interviews that people who you love and you admire and who's made a huge difference in the world, I just feel see, dreams are possible. Dreams do come true when you believe in yourself and you do the work. So thank you for being a reminder of that, okay?
Thank you. Thank you. I don't even want to high five. I just want to hug you.
You can hug me after.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Okay, so
Well, we've got a room.
Okay, so stop what you're doing. Don't forget Mother of the Bride, May 9th on Netflix. I'm telling you, this is such a feel-good movie. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry.
It's better than Cats.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's a reference nobody will get, but that's okay.
Oh my God, I love Brooke Shields. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You made me so happy. I'm going to sleep so good tonight. I'm gonna call my aunt tomorrow morning because it's late in Italy. She's gonna be like, Paolo, Oh, che successo? Hai visto Brooke? Yeah, I saw it. It was amazing.
Brooke, hai visto Brooke,
I visto Brooke. So thank you so much. You
Thank
truly
you.
are one amazing, phenomenal woman. Everything Oprah said about you is so true. She said, "I'm like Patrick, we got to take a quote and use it." So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Your
welcome.
energy and your spirit and your communication relationship with each other is just the world needs more of that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I think we're gonna do more stuff together.
We are going to do more stuff. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you so much. And a big thanks to Brooke Shields, who we are just so honored.
here?
Okay, who's that? Okay.
Who happens to be sitting here? That's it.
You guys, I was so nervous, but she's here. I'm just so, oh my God. Okay. Mwah, we love you all. Bye. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you so much. I'm so happy what you said about that
Thank
award.
you.
Oh my God. I think I was
This is going
dying.
with my People's Choice Awards.
Oh my
Wait, you gotta put the light
yeah,
on
put the
it.
light on because you can you could see all
See
the.
it.
Yeah.
That's so unbelievable.
I just got that.